All right, what is up, you guys? So, hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. For those of you who are here, what is up? Good afternoon. We'll give it a couple of minutes for some people to hop on. What's up, Wills? What's up, Laura, Thomas, Audiel? Sorry if I don't spell your name right. And Laura, what's up? Good afternoon. I'm having a good afternoon. I got, while we wait for some people to hop on, I just got a new Samsung Odyssey G9. So it's a 50-inch ultra wide monitor. It's freaking nuts, and it's kind of really weird to get used to. So if you guys hear any like audio issues, or if you can't hear me talking or anything, let me know, because I did take apart my entire rig and put it back together. So hopefully there's no mic issues or anything. I tested it a couple times, seemed like it was okay. Like I was saying in the chat, I was typing out, I did make the latency a little bigger in this video. So normally when we do live streams, I keep it at ultra low latency. And what ultra low latency is going to do is it's going to make the smallest amount of latency. So basically, like if you hear me talk, there's usually a 10-second pause. So basically what you're hearing right now is like now 30 seconds ago. So if I don't initially react to something you guys ask me, it's because you guys are 30 seconds behind, but the further behind you are, the better the quality is. So quality should be a little bit better today, but the latency will be there. A good evening. Yeah, it is the evening in Germany right now. What's up, Siren? Lying Eyes, my first live stream. Hello, everyone. What's up? Welcome, guys. So if anyone is new, basically every Sunday, usually at 3, but today we did 2 because I have some other obligations after this. We tend to live stream. So what I like to do with this is kind of just, first of all, see what tickers you want me to go over. There are going to be multiple tickers that we're probably going to go over multiple times. So if you ask me to look at something, I'll probably tell you we already did it and give you a short answer on what I basically think, so we're not looking at the same tickers all the time. The other thing too is if you guys have any questions at all about like trading, investing, anything at all, like any questions that I can't normally answer in the comments section, because I just can't stay on top of the comment section anymore. It's a good problem to have. Then you can ask them here. This is your guys' time. So Siren, I see you said would like to talk about trading in general. Yep. If you have any questions about it, shoot it out there. And the goal is to get through as many as we possibly can within an hour. So just let me know. Like I said, I am about like 30-40 seconds ahead of you guys. So if there's any latency issues, just let me know. I might start adding a Wednesday. So like a stream on Wednesday too, because it does seem like a lot of you guys really like these. Usually we start with Tesla. That's why it's usually Tesla on the front of the thumbnail. And then we go on from there. So if you guys have any tickers, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. And then if there's just not any questions that you guys have or tickers, which normally never happens, then I'll kind of go over some things I'm watching and the market in general. But let's first go over the market in general, and then let's go over Tesla, and then we'll go over some of your guys' tickers. So I see some people talk about like CCL, NCLH, Intel, Costco. We'll go over all that in a moment. So keep the tickers coming. Hopefully we can get through them all. So S&P 500. All right, so the market took a bit of a spill on Friday. So basically on Thursday, the World Health Organization, I haven't looked up any news recently on it, but World Health Organization basically came out and said there is another variant, which I'm not going to get political here, but I'm not a virologist either. That's not what this is about. It's about the stock market, but we're kind of expected, right? We're kind of expected to have multiple variants. That's how viruses work. So variants are going to happen. This is not anything new. To me personally, it's just a lot of fear mongering. People have gotten away from caring so much about the pandemic. It has not affected many businesses recently, depending upon where you live. But overall, it has just been life as normal. As far as I'm not going to get tinfoil hattish here, but you have to realize like the virus is good for business as far as like the, not only from a pharmacological standpoint, but it is good for business from a, media standpoint. People stop watching the news, stop caring about the news, stop caring about reading articles all the time. And then once a big, Yeah, FUD, exactly, Joseph. Yeah, I see you just type, but yeah, it's just that they want eyes, they need people, they need to pull people back into watching and consuming their content. And so this is what they're going to talk about. And in the original article that they did on Thursday, they basically said like the variant, there's another variant, it's in South Africa. It looks like it's going to move to different continents. And on top of that too, if you have a vaccine, it doesn't really help. But at the very end, they put, we're still figuring these things out. We really don't know too much. So in my opinion, not really even worth news. If you're just going to basically tell us there's another variant, we know that. But the market sold off pretty drastically. S&P 500 did end up dropping about 2.23%. The S&P 500 has to hold this support here at 450. If we don't hold 450, we will pull back down to 445, and I really wouldn't be surprised. That's only another 2.5%. Now, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while now, you know that we've been talking about a potential strong Q4, which we're seeing right now, up until, a couple of days ago. And then from there, we're looking at, in my opinion, a significant pullback in January, February, March. And so for those of you who are part of the premium mentorship group or the premium role in the Discord, and you guys see all of my trades, you notice that recently I've been trading nothing but shares for the past couple of months because I am very aggressive. But going into Q1, my goal was to do a lot of put credit spreads and also to sell a lot of cash secured puts. Because in the market, you are either in one of two modes. You are in capital conservation mode, which means you're holding on to your capital and trying to not lose the money that you have, that you work so hard for, or you're in capital appreciation mode. I've been in capital appreciation mode for the past couple of months, which has led me to be a little more aggressive than I like, but I'm still up about 7 to 8 grand in the past 8 weeks, even after taking about $1,200 worth of realized losses on Friday. So I personally am going to be a little bit more conservative with my trading, probably sell a lot of cash secured puts and maybe do some credit spreads, really depending, but I'm still holding most of my positions. It looks like the S&P 500 has to hold here. If it doesn't hold here, we will see a drop down to 444, 445. Now, one thing I'll share with you guys here is, if you guys are part of the group, the private group or the premium on the Discord, one thing you'll know, or if you guys just watch here in general, I follow a lot of big money. A lot of flows is what I really trade off of. And so I like to see what the best people with the biggest resources are doing on a daily basis. And they have been buying the living crap out of travel and banks for the past 3 or 4 months. And what have we seen take a massive hit in the past couple of months? Most recently, travel and banks. So they've been buying the crap out of Hilton. They've been buying the crap out of Hyatt. They've been buying the crap out of Las Vegas Sands. They've been buying a ton of social media as well, like Snapchat, Twitter, pins. So they've been buying a lot of these things that are taking a big hit right now. And if you guys have noticed, small caps have been getting killed as well. So, basically there's constantly, I always say this to my private group, but big money never sleeps. Big money never takes money completely out of the market. What they tend to do is just cycle or sector rotations. So they cycle their money through different rotations and different sectors. So right now you're seeing a lot of FANG get bought up. Small tech is being left behind. Doesn't mean it's forever, but just recently they've been selling a lot of small tech companies and they've been buying a lot of Facebook, a lot of Apple, a lot of Amazon, a lot of Microsoft, a lot of Netflix. Now recently we see all these things sell off Friday. But before that, we've been seeing the FANG really, really push up. So we've seen a big sector rotation there, and as well something like Tesla. So basically, before we start talking about Tesla, for the overall market, I would not be surprised if we sell off another 3 or 4% this week. I personally don't believe we should, but just because something shouldn't happen doesn't mean that it won't happen. The market hates 2 things, fear and uncertainty. So I don't think the United States is going to shut back down. I don't really think they can at this point. But it's just not good for business to have this out in the basically getting pushed throughout the news all the time. So I wouldn't be surprised. You have to always think as to yourself, what's the worst case scenario? And if the worst case scenario blows you out of the water and you can't trade anymore, then you need to do something about it. You know what I mean? You can't just hold on to your positions and pray that they recover, especially if you have options. Now, looking at Tesla, we've been talking on the channel a while for this big bull flag here. We have this good flag. We have this gap to 900. so far we are holding this support at 1070, 1050. We've been holding here very, very well. At this point, though, the RSI is pointing down. The MACD is separated pretty badly. The MACD histogram did make a lower low on Friday, and OBV is starting to curl down as well. What you guys have to realize is that, and I kind of went over this last week, but when I'm looking at what is the most important thing for me is unusual options activity, because big money knows more than we do. So why in the hell wouldn't we just follow what they're doing, right? Why like, it's just utilize their resources in their brain to figure out what is actually happening. You should, like, for me, it's like, why would I not take advantage of them? So they've really been buying Tesla, but not that aggressively in the past couple of days. Even though we have seen some wild swings, they've been buying, but not like out for the next couple of months, which is what I really want to see from, to see if we can get up to like 1250. Price action is good. Good bull flag holding here. Price action is good, and price action is the second most important thing. Then is volume. Oh, actually, I should say volume is higher than price action, really. Volume has been getting lower and lower and lower, but that's just because there's more uncertainty and less people trading. But volume has still been very high. It's still around the high normals, but it has not been as high as we've seen it in this past couple of week run. And then we see the lagging indicators. So RSI, MACD, OBV, they're all lagging indicators. Tesla has to hold 1050 this week. If we close below it multiple sessions down around 1040, 1050, we will probably fall down to 960. And then if we break through 960, we'll probably go to 880. I know a lot of you guys are hoping that this continues to run, but I also know a lot of you guys are hoping that it fills down to 900 so you guys can take a position, and I'm one of them. But overall, that's the levels we have to watch. The market is way too volatile right now for me to give an accurate analysis, right? And I always try to say that to people, like, I'm not, like, what we're trying to do here is not predict the future. That's not what we do. You can't. Charts are not predicting the future. Charts are giving you probabilities. And when the market is not filled with uncertainty, your ability to predict through probabilities what will happen is a lot higher than when the market's very volatile. So let's start going through some tickers and some questions. Buying in tomorrow when Elon sells. If we get more news of, like, this variant, potential shutdowns, like some crazy stuff, or Elon sells like a sizable amount again, we could see this thing short-term fade. Thomas Cooks, what's up, man? Top-notch sound production as always. Thank you so much, my friend. We'd like to talk about trading in general. So when is a good entry for Costco? Let's take a look. Sophie Cost. Is it Costco? It's Cost, C-O-S. Yeah, it is. Okay, so Costco's one of those stocks, and I feel like it's just always like this, where, like, it's never a great deal, but it's like never a bad deal. Stock does nothing but go up. Personally, in my opinion, if you're looking at an entry, for me, I would not be entering here. If you're in it, I would definitely let it ride. But even on a weekly time frame, like even on like a longer term time frame, we are very overextended here. Doesn't mean it can't continue to push up, but I would be looking to enter Costco if we pulled back down to like 460 to 450. That's personally where I would be looking to get in. Hi Pete, what's your thoughts on CCL or NCLH per CV fears? Is this an opportunity? Honestly, Steve-O, I wouldn't touch any of them. And I was buying, so I started buying Carnival at like 32, 33 on this drop. And now here's the reason I wouldn't honestly touch them. Number one, from a trading perspective, if we look at the weekly time frame, we have a massive bear flag here, which 8 out of 10 times we're going to see this thing drop to $7. The other thing I don't like is the financial state of CCL, and definitely not NCLH in my opinion. If you were to buy either, I'd be buying CCL. The financial state is very shaken. They've taken out insane amounts of loans in order to hold the business afloat. And if we were to close down again, I don't think we will, but if we were to see more lockdowns again in the United States, this company is going bankrupt for sure. I don't necessarily think the crew, I mean, who knows? Like, that's the thing. I have to try to think to myself, like, oh, you really think cruises will be gone forever? I mean, who knows? There was a time where, like, no one would have thought Blockbuster or, Strawbridges or whatever these, like, Sears would just cease to exist. But, like, we just don't do certain things after a while. So I would be very careful with Carnival. We could try to bounce here at 18. I think if you're going to buy any of them, Steve, I'd be looking at CCL personally. But I would be very, very careful, and I would only put into it what you're willing to lose. And if you're looking at it from a trading perspective, we are holding around this support here at 17.95. Like, we're below it, but I would definitely have a stop loss set because the downside is massive here. Let me see. Beast, is Intel good for the long term, or is TSM better? So I am not huge into semiconductors. Like, I understand the semiconductor market, but not to the extent to where I'd be like, this company is better than blank, blank, blank. But I know that one of the things that shot Intel in the foot like about a year and a half ago was delaying their chips 6 months. And it seems that other companies, specifically AMD, have just such better products that are so much more, just not even from a price point, but just from a performance standpoint, significantly better than Intel. And so Intel has been taking a hit. Big money has been buying Intel though. However, I did enter a position down at 48 last time we hit this, and I did sell a couple of weeks ago for a small profit. So I don't think Intel is necessarily at a bad, let me see what the PE is right now. I wouldn't say Intel is necessarily a bad investment. But it's definitely risky. Intel versus TSM though, I would actually have to look at their future growth performance. So they're expected to not grow at all within the next 1 to 3 years. Intel is not looking to grow. Financial health, assets to liabilities isn't bad. I like TSM too. Let me take a look just quickly. TSM from a technical standpoint looks pretty damn good too. There we go. Taiwan Semiconductors. So it's not trading at such an attractive price though, but that's just because the company is a great company. Net assets, 1.3 trillion. I mean, if you want something safer, I would definitely go with TSM, to be quite honest. And looking at this too from a trading standpoint, massive weekly bull flag. So looking like we could see us at 150 in the next couple of months. So I definitely like it. Let me see. Man, there's a lot, dude. You guys are putting a lot in this chat. Hell yes, thank you. Intel does not have a good dividend. It's very true, Michelle. Yeah, it doesn't. But for me, if you're buying semis, unless you're buying Skyworks Solutions, which I freaking love, it's one of those things where I would not really be looking too much for like a long-term dividend. I'd be looking more for the growth. All right, let me get back up to where I was before. Okay, so we talked about Intel. Mr. Abdul, do you think it's rumored for a stock split, Tesla head towards 1600? I wouldn't be surprised if it splits. Honestly, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla splits. I would expect a split because we saw last time how much the stock rallied when it split. And then on top of that too, like it would really help the options market. So like if you just trade straight up shares, almost every broker right now has partial buying. So you can just buy partial, you know, amounts of a share. Like if you only have 1,000 or $800, you can buy $800 worth of Tesla, but it doesn't help the options market because it's so much money. You know what I mean? It's so much money to trade their options. So I could definitely see that happening. And we're getting back up to like the $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 range. So I wouldn't be surprised. Albarello, Palantir, how do you see a 3-day candle in the last session? Very unusual. I like Palantir a lot here. Honestly, like we have not really broken this support at $21 in a very, very long time. We briefly back in, you know, May pulled back and then bounced, but you can also see here we're holding this range, and then too you can also see that we're making a bit of, what is the hotkey for this, but we're making a bit of an inverted head and shoulders here. So I think that based off of how we're setting up, we can definitely see this thing get back up to, you know, 20, 27, 28, 29, and I have a position in it right now. I think buying Palantir right here is a very, very, very good deal. Even if this thing dropped and I got stopped out at 19, like I wouldn't be mad. I think it's a really good entry. Rip easy, DraftKings. Yeah, so DraftKings down at this support here around $35. I think this is a very good time to enter DraftKings personally. RSI pointing up, MACD is about to cross, OBV is pointing up. I really like it. Good entry. Can Moderna pop further, even if the market tanks on virus scare? I think Moderna can. We have a gap potential up to 370 and 400, and even with the virus scare, that's just good for Moderna because I mean, looking at how this thing is panning out, like we see, you know, with recent data that like even if you're vaccinated, you're probably going to need a booster every 6 months. So that's just more money for Moderna. And looking at it from a technical level, yes, it looks like you can push to 370. I wouldn't enter Moderna here though. If you're already in, I would let it go. Just got into options. What stocks do you think I should look into for taking pays? The first thing I would say, Devil, is if you just got into options, please be careful. Please. I say this to all my students. And it's not like I'm trying to, you know, demean how much your knowledge or how smart you are or anything like that. It's not like that at all. It's options are a great way to make money. But like 95% of the time, over long, like years over years, you're going to end up losing money unless you're playing spreads or selling cash secured puts. So please be careful. The biggest thing I would say is not a specific stock, Spartan. I would say you just need to go further than you think you need to. Like anytime I trade straight up options, which is very little, most of the time I'm selling puts or doing spreads, I would say go 2 months more than you think you need. Because many times people are correct about where a stock goes. But at the end of the day, you can end up being wrong just because of theta decay. Scott, any ARK funds you like or better to buy the top holdings? I mean, I like the innovation one, ARKK. I like that a lot. The only issue with like ARK, and I'm not, God, people will hate me if I trash talk ARK. I like this ETF. I really do. ARKK, ARKR is the other one. I forget, but I looked into that one as well. I like them. The thing is, they're just very risky. So like I wouldn't tell somebody who's 65 years old who's going to retire in a couple years to invest all their money in ARKK because they're very risky. But if you're younger and you want an ETF that you don't have to be sitting there managing your positions all the time and you just want something that's very aggressive because you're young and you could potentially retire, yeah, I think ARKK is great. If you're somebody who is really looking for dividends, QLDY, is it QILD? I'm sorry. Yeah, QILD is a great one. This is great. The dividend is nuts on this. But it's gonna be a slower paced return. Same with something like VTI. I really like VTI and VOO. Total market indexes I really like in general. So I think it's great. Israel shut down all foreigners. I did see that. I did see that line, guys. Richard Hoffman, what do you think about February 2022 Neo 595 calls, new variant deemed to provide only mild symptoms? I don't think buying Neo February calls is a bad idea, to be quite honest. I think Neo could pull back to 35 first before making that push up. Personally, I would probably say go like third week of March. Richard, personally, $40, yeah, not bad. I would personally say maybe look at like March. You guys can't see the options chain because I can't put Thinkorswim up on the browser, but let me take a quick look at Neo. So if we look at February 18th 2022s and we look at a $40 call, you're looking at it's not bad, honestly, a theta decay of 3, probability OTM. I would probably go with I personally would go with the 18th of March $40 calls personally, just because I'm a little more risk averse though, but I would personally look for that. That's what I'd be looking at. Stevo, Fubo appears to be holding support. Is this a good entry or you suggest waiting for 1750? No problem. Let's take a look. Very small support. I would suggest waiting for like 1750 personally. Unless you're okay with entering and averaging down. We are trying to find a bottom here, but it looks like more than likely we're going to try to drop down. Yeah. Especially on the weekly. I think you can enter small here, but I think we're going to see a move down to 1750. Nora, hey Pete, what's up? I'm doing very well. How are you doing? What stocks look to benefit UPS and FedEx really as fear increases? Yeah, UPS is always solid. Good bull flag here. Looking like we're probably going to break out over the next couple of months. And then FedEx, what's that? FDX. FedEx is looking like if we can hold 240, FedEx should move back up to 300, but we're probably going to drop to 219. Keep killing it, Pete. Thank you, Chavez. Chavez? I think that's how you say your name. I'm sorry. Los, JPV Los, Tesla will crash. I wouldn't be surprised. Why do you believe it would crash, though? That's the question I would ask. I've read a lot about trading. Oh, it's the siren. I've read a lot about trading, and most agree to not try to time the bottom, and buy high, sell higher is better than buy low, sell high, trend following. How can you tell the trend is changing, for example, on Twitter above 50? Here's the thing that I completely agree with you, Siren. Like, I don't like timing bottoms. It's very rare that I try to. Most of the time, I'm playing a bull flag breakout. However, 3 of the trades that I currently have right now, if you're part of the mentorship program or the upgraded Discord, which if you guys haven't already, we do have a free Discord. Go and check it out. The link is in the description. I don't know how many of you guys are from the Discord or how many of you guys are from here, but go check it out. But for me, I usually like to trade, bull flags, those types of things. But there are a couple right now where I'm trying to time the bottom, like pins. But same thing, pins is in a bull flag anyway, but I'm trying to time the bottom on pins, as well as Twitter, and as well as Snapchat. So it's one of the things I look for timing, not timing a bottom, but watching a potential reversal is number 1, the slowing of the drop in candles. So you can see here, like if we're looking at a daily chart on Twitter, you can see here on the 17th, we had a good drop and we closed bearish as hell. So that's one of the first signs. Like, there was no wick on this at all. Then the next day we opened at 50, we closed at 48.70. No wick at all on the daily. Next one we tried to hold, but then next day we dropped. And now you can see on these couple of days that we're holding here, the aggression in the sell-off is slowing down. So we're starting to hold 47. The other thing I look for is divergences. We do not have a divergence here on Twitter, unfortunately, but a divergence usually is going to be a good sign that we're going to potentially start to find a bottom. Unfortunately, we don't have that here. And then the MACD histogram making a higher low is another sign that we could see a bounce here. So it looked like Twitter was going to, if we didn't have that dump Friday, which Twitter actually held pretty well, but that we were going to see this move back up to 50. So the biggest thing I look for is buying pressure coming from unusual options. Then I look for a descending rate of selling off. Then I look for, divergences and whatnot. But most of the time, I will only buy a potential dip if we've been holding there for a very long time and we're in a really good, a really good pattern. Like, for instance, PayPal, I got asked about PayPal so many times. And when it first dropped on earnings down to 204, people were like, hey, should I enter? And I was like, it's probably going to drop to 180 to 190. And that's what ended up happening, because it's very rare that we have a big drop and then quickly recover, especially if the reason for the drop is fundamental. That's the one thing I want you guys to understand. If the reason a drop occurs is fundamental, then usually we don't recover. If the drop is like FUD or just news, and we're overreacting, we'll tend to recover, which is why I could see us potentially recovering tomorrow, because yes, this variant is an issue, but it's not really going to be that big of an issue in my opinion. So, I don't think that we're going to see this like insane sell-off right now. I would be more worried about inflation than a variant of coronavirus, honestly. The African doctor that discovered the new variant just said that it's mild. Oh, it's great, Rick. Sorry. I saw Rick Wilmot and I just mixed it up and said Wick. The news out of Shanghai may drive Tesla stock higher. They filed with regulations to $182 million factory upgrade to increase capacity by April to 1.5 million cars annual run rate. Yeah, if Tesla can when Tesla really gets their ability to produce more and more cars, this company is going to go nuts, because they have so much demand, they just can't create the cars. Let me say hello, Michelle. Look at TMUS. Let's take a look. TMUS. Yeah, so T-Mobile and AT&T have been getting freaking murdered. Like, they really have been getting killed recently. So here's the thing. From a technical standpoint, it looks like we're probably going to drop to $95. We have a small support here at 120, but we are under it. Doesn't mean we can't bounce. Just because we've closed a couple sessions or a couple of weeks under doesn't matter. But I personally think it's probably going to drop down to $100, and that's where I would be looking to enter it personally. Where is everyone buying when we know Elon is selling? Oh, why is everyone buying when Elon is selling? I actually don't know. Maybe because he's just like me, and every time he sells, it just rips. Like, if you're a part of my group, you guys know that, like, every time I sell, There he goes. The Omicron is more infectious but milder illness. This is a variant will take over from Delta variant, which potentially causes much less hospitalizations and serious illness. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, you have to realize we are starting to get herd immunity, which, like I said, I'm not a virologist of any sorts, but it's kind of just how we deal with infectious diseases. Thoughts on Blink? Let's take a look. Small caps have been getting freaking beat, sadly. Not bad though. Like, we pulled back from 45. We're down at 38. Not a bad time to buy it. But personally, I would be looking to enter Blink down at 34 if we can get there. If we can get there, I'd be looking to enter at 34. If not, I'd probably sit out. Bogdan, Baba, Palantir, Oatly, please and thank you in advance. No problem, man. Baba, I personally wouldn't touch Baba. This is one of those situations right now where we're kind of like Twitter. It does look like we're going to bounce here. MACD is looking good. RSI is trying to reverse. OBV is trying to reverse. I feel very, 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 very hesitant to invest in Chinese companies. If there was one, it would be Alibaba, but very, very risky. Twitter, I really like Twitter here. And Oatly, I really, really like Oatly here. Big Money has, to not give away a bunch of stuff, but like Oatly, like if you guys are part of the mentorship group or the Discord premium membership, like you guys know, Big Money has been buying insane amounts of Oatly for the next couple of months, like ridiculously amounts. So drop a quick like, the least we can do for this A++ knowledge. Thank you, Ben Clark. Yes, guys, hit the like button if you would not mind. It helps to get the videos out, helps with the algorithm, so we get more views and can continue to grow this channel. I still can't believe that we got literally like 27,000 subs in just 1 year. Like, it's freaking nuts. Like, thank you guys. It's crazy. Like, hopefully we'll be at 100,000 in 2-3 years from now. We can hold like a conference or something like that. That would be really cool. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. You're right about climate for cruises is very shaky. Yeah, Michelle, that's the thing. I'd be really worried about cruises. Like, I don't know, like how many of you guys would go on a cruise? I'm not a cruise person, honestly, like, but it's just, to me, like I guess it's the same thing with like a plane where like you're resurfacing the air. But like for me, it's like with a plane, if we have to land, we can land. But like if you're out on a cruise, like you're stuck there. I don't know. For me, I don't like the cruise industry at all. And I feel like if you're investing in it, is very, very risky. Burlington, saw you cut it. Can it do a push for part 2? Yeah, so I cut Burlington because I was like, I think I was even or close to even. And the thing is, so just because I cut a position, if you guys are part of the premium group, like, it doesn't necessarily mean I think the position is not going to continue to do well. It's usually because I have other positions that are taking a hit and I want to de-risk my portfolio. So I cut Burlington, I think it was for like a $5 gain or something small, but Burlington looks phenomenal. Like, this thing looks phenomenal. Weekly chart, we're holding this massive trend line. RSI is pointing up. MACD is looking like it's going to cross pretty soon. The OBV is pointing up. Like, Burlington looks phenomenal. If you guys have a couple of months, Burlington should be a very, very good trade. Should get back up to 350, and Big Money has been buying the living crap out of it. So I really like Burlington. I just got out because I had so many other positions that I needed to focus on, and I didn't want to be over leveraged in the market. I'll push for price target 2. Yeah, I can definitely push for price target 2 for sure. If you look at Sava and GGPI, let's take a look. All right, we're gonna have to go a little faster because I'm still like back at, I think, like the first 20 minutes or something. Cassava, it really needs to get above 63. I'm not a huge fan of Cassava here. Personally, if you're already in it, I'd let it ride, but I would really like to enter down at $40. That's where I would be looking. GGPI, but if not, like if you're already in it, I think that Cassava has to get above 62 and hold. GGPI, good little bull flag here, but it is looking a little weak. RSI pointing down, MACD is about to cross to the downside. GGPI is making a bull flag here. We just need volume. Look how little the volume has been since the breakout. We need volume to come into this. But if so, price target would be 15, 16. Stop loss for me would be around 12.50 personally. Thank you, bro. You're the best. No problem, Steve. Is it possible market has been looking for an excuse to pull back and use this virus as an excuse? That's true too. I mean, there's probably just a lot of profit taking across the board, honestly. But I think it's a mix of that, and there's a lot of fears already about inflation and stuff like that. But I think it was just a mix of like they came out with the news on freaking Thanksgiving. Like that's like come on now. Like you know what like you know what I mean. But yeah, I could definitely see that. Jafar Abdul Ta, what's up, my friend? I hope I said that right. Hey Peter, thanks for your time. Still holding Snap. I am still holding Snap. I really like Snapchat for the next couple of months. I'm still holding it. See, Himanshu SCHW. Let's take a look. SCHW. Alrighty. Very consistent uptrend. Very consistent for Charles Schwab. I mean, you would expect that though for Schwab. Yeah, I like finances like Citibank, a lot of banks right now, Bank of America, all getting big buys. Big money's buying finances. I really like it here at 78. Not a bad entry at all. Best entries at 73. I don't really know if we're going to see it at 73, but very good. Brandy Allen, MU. So MU, I called this out. If you guys are part of the private mentorship group or the premium role on the Discord, we called this out back when it was down at $65. I entered, I sold at my price target of 77, made a couple $100, and then it did just recently hit our price target at 85. So I'm very happy with this. I think MU can push up to $95 in the next couple of months. The issue for me though is like it needs to pull back down to 76 for me to enter. So if you're not already in this, I wouldn't enter it. If you are in it, I would let it ride. It's looking very good for the next couple of months. I personally have AMD. I like AMD as well too. Big money's been buying the crap out of AMD. AMD is one of those things like I wouldn't enter AMD here, but I would hold AMD here. AMD looks good. That would be a hold for me. Any thoughts on the rumor of Tesla split announcement December 9th? Here's the thing. All right, so I am wrong good amount of times, right? Not perfect. However, there has been so many times when people say, literally you'll go back and think about this and you'll watch it, where people go, just wait till blank. Wait till December 9th, or wait till blank date for Tesla battery day. Just wait till Neo day. Just wait till blank. And like 9 times out of 10, it doesn't move because they don't have that much of an effect on the core business. Or wait for Tesla AI day, right? Like those types of things. So I'm not saying December 9th is not going to have a big move for the stock, but I do think stock split news will probably come, and I do think that it will push the price of the stock higher if we do get it. Variant is market FUD. I agree, Rick. I agree. Variant is poopy. I agree with you too. Resistance at 380 for mRNA. Yeah, Moderna's got a resistance here at like 380. That's where this gap fill is, and I think that's probably the next price target. Opinions on the Nasdaq. What's up, Seed? Yeah, Nasdaq. So let's go to Nasdaq Futures. So Nasdaq's holding support at 16,000. I think we will hold here. If we don't, though, Nasdaq's going to move to 15,600, and then from there down to 15,000. But Nasdaq looks all right here. I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back to 15,000, 15,500, 15,700 though. The market's just been ripping. Like it really has across the board. This is the best channel. Thank you, Lying Eyes. Means a lot, guys. Seriously, thank you. Hey man, thanks so much for what you're doing in the live stream. We should take a look at FUV and Tattooed Chef. Big descending wedges forming. Thank you very much, Anthony. And you know, I don't know if you do know this, but they are my favorite. My favorite of all time. Well, bull flags and wedges are my favorite things to play. But wedges are one of my favorite things to play because it's a very good way to time a reversal. So yeah, Tattooed Chef, we talked about this, I think last week, and we talked about how we were holding here at 16, and I said that we need to hold this range. If not, we were going to drop, and if we had great earnings, we might see him move back up. Earnings were very good. I like this. I think this is worth it. Honestly, I think entering a position here and then setting a stop loss at 15.20 is a very good idea. You're looking at about a 10% loss for a potential 20% gain up to 20 bucks, and then potentially if it goes up to 25, a 50% gain. So very, very good. I really like it. I think it's worth it. The risk is worth it. Let me see. Oh, and the other one, FUV. FUV is a little rougher of a setup here. Nice little trend line here. This is not bad. I don't like this little head and shoulders. It's janky, but I would probably say enter here, and then I would personally look to stop out at about 750. I don't like that as much as I like Tattooed Chef, but it's not looking bad, honestly. Can confirm every single time Pete sells, it rips the same day. This is very true. This is very true. Every single time I freaking sell, guys. It's nuts. New ETF meta. I have to see what's in that ETF, but that could be very fun. Safa, what metaverses are you invested in? Currently, none. I don't have many long-term investments at this point, simply because I don't think there's a lot of companies undervalued. And I am like a dinosaur when it comes to investing. Like I've been doing this for like 8 years, and I cannot buy a company that's not undervalued, or at least fairly valued. And I don't think there's a lot of companies out there that are fairly valued, to be quite honest. I really don't. The long terms I have right now are VRTX. I have Sam Adams, Dropbox. I do have some small direct club, but I don't recommend it. I have a very small amount. I really don't recommend it though. It is not safe. That's really about it. A little bit of Palantir. If I might hold this long, honestly, because I really do like Palantir. It's very speculative, but I really do like it. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saving cash right now. Like I only have about 83 or 84,000 in the market right now. But if the market really shits the bed, I would like to put a significant amount of money, probably about $200,000, $250,000 in, and buy a bunch long term. Because right now, like, I just don't like where the market is, and I could have all the money in and sell cash secured puts, but I just don't like where the market is at this point. I really don't need to. And honestly, for you guys who are traders, like you really, unless you're selling cash secured puts for a living, you really don't need more than like 20 grand in your accounts, 25, 30 grand if you want to not have deal with PDT. Usually the more money you have, like the harder it is to trade, because like imagine having $3 million. Like it's hard to move in and out of positions depending upon what you're trading. MSK, it's going sub 1,000 on Tesla. I could probably see that. We just need to hold this 1070. Do you own any land? Safa, yes, I do. So I bought my first property in 2017. It was a duplex. I was making $1,000 a month. So I was renting, both units were able to be rented for $1,000 a month. I lived in one for free for a while. Then I rented the top out for $1,000, and I rented the bottom out for $1,000 after I moved out. My mortgage was $1,000 a month, so I was making $1,000. And I didn't want to sell it, but we bought the house for $150,000 because basically the guy got the house left to him and it needed some work. We put about $10,000 worth of work into it, and then we sold it. By the time we got done with the house, it was worth about $240,000. So we made about 70 grand in 2 years, plus like 12 grand in rents. So I closed it out. I wasn't a fan of the partner that I was in it with, and then I just bought another place that I'm currently living in right now. Bought it for $262. Right now it's worth $340,000. So I've already made nearly about another $80,000-$90,000 on this property in equity in the past year. But I'm probably not going to sell this place. I'm a huge fan of real estate. You just have to know what you're doing, and you need to realize that it requires more money than you probably think. But I love it. I love it. I can talk a lot more about real estate on the other channel if you guys want. It's just real estate does not get any views at all. There's a lot of stuff like business building and stuff like that I would really like to share with you guys, but the algorithm hates it for some reason. I'm on break working in the ER. Damn, Anthony. Well, thank you for the dedication, my friend, and thank you for helping people, doing what you do in the ER. I'm so squeamish, I can't imagine that. So thank you. Michelle, I got out of PayPal. Inflation is an issue. I completely agree. I think PayPal will probably drop to 175. Would it be good to sell puts on Twitter now? Dark. Yes, I think so. I really like Twitter. I think selling puts on Twitter is not a bad idea. The premiums are very decent. It only costs about $4,700. If you were to sell a 40, let's just say you sold a 45 put you can make a 1% return this week, and the chances of it closing above $45 is like 65%. So like I really think that's not bad. But I'm only looking for 1% return a week, which is all you need. Like, I want you guys to understand that. Let's just take 1 second here to talk about this. Compound interest calc money chimp. It's like my favorite thing to do. But I want you guys to understand the power of this, because so many people who start investing really, and trading as well, really want to make these huge returns, but you don't need to. So let's say right now you have $5,000, and every single month, let's say every single year, you can put $5,000 into your account. Because let's be honest, if you start with $5,000, you're not going to turn it into $20 million. Probably not if you don't put any more money in. So you start with $5,000, let's say $6,000, because that's a Roth IRA. You start with $6,000, and then every year you max out your Roth IRA for $6,000. And let's say you're 25 years old and you want to invest for the next 30 years. If you get an average return of 1% a week, which is not that hard if you're selling cash secured puts. Now, you're still going to have to pay about 35 to 40% taxes, because you are basically going to end up being short-term capital gains. If you can make 52% return per week, untaxed, remember, because it is a Roth IRA, we're not paying taxes, Roth IRA. If you're doing it outside of that, you are. If you can do this for 30 years, you will retire with $6.7 billion untaxed, because it's a Roth. Even the next 10 years, in 10 years, you will have $1.5 million, making 1% return per week, selling cash secured puts. It's my favorite thing to do. Let's just say you even make 0.5% return per week consistently, or 2% return per month. Looking at 24% return. In the next 10 years, you'll have about 280 grand. And in the next 30 years, you'll have $23 million, which is more than enough to retire with. The issue is we're trying to make way too much money way too fast, when you should really just be looking to sell cash secured puts, or at least be very consistent. I don't care, as somebody who has been doing this and living off the market for 8 years, I do not care. I don't give a shit how much money you made on a specific trade. I care that you're consistent. That's the most important thing to me, is that you guys are consistent with your trading. I don't want your profit and loss sheet to be like all over the place. I want your profit and loss to look like the S&P 500. Constantly going up with a couple of dips, but overall just going up. That's what is more important to me. All right. Let's get through some of these quicker. Real life Nas, hope you're well. Any hope for the upside reversal on Tesla tomorrow? I think Tesla can definitely push up. It's really going to depend where sentiment is across the board for the entire market, and if big money steps in to buy it on this bounce. But I think it's probably a 65% chance we're going to see a push up. Sheila, Blink, I think it's going to pull back a little bit. I would wait to enter on the 200-day SMA. And then CHPT, not a bad entry here. RSI MACD not looking good, but CHPT not a bad entry here. Enter here, assess stop loss 24.50. It's not bad. What do you think of Jumia now that we have the African variant? I don't know if it's going to affect Jumia that much. I mean, I know Jumia is based out of Africa, but I don't know how much it's really going to affect it. I do like Jumia long term, but short term, it does look like we could drop down to $7. MU fundamentals are good. What about technicals? Technicals on MU is very good. I would just wait to enter, honestly. But MU technicals look good, and the fundamentals are good too. BODY, Beachbody Company. I would not touch this. I first of all don't like Beachbody. I don't like, I'm not a fan of like P90X. I'm not a fan of Insane, what's that called, with like Sean T or whatever. I'm just not a fan of it. And I think that when you look at this company, I don't really know if they'll be around in 10 years. And I don't like buying a company that is just dropping, right? We've never been in an uptrend. I personally would not touch this yet. I really wouldn't. It only IPO'd back in January. It's not something for me personally. Doesn't mean you can't make money. It's just not something personally for me, Jesse. If you do want to invest in some, I'd be very careful. But we could see a recovery. We do have the RSI pointing up, and the MACD is trying to cross, but this thing has done nothing but go down. So I would be careful. Yo, what's up, Jay? What's up? Thank you and your healthcare crew for all the hard work. The public, yep, that's completely true. That's not for me, obviously. That was for, I forget your name, who is in ER. If I scroll back up, I'll lose it. Anthony. I think it's Anthony. Yes, it is Anthony. Okay, let's see. Melly, Tesla 1200 end of the week. I'm going to call it. Let's see it happen. Everyone looking to VVS Finance. VVS. I have no clue what that is, but I will try to remember to look into it. Jumia not looking too bad, but I think we could definitely sell off into the 7s. Argudo, new to this channel and Discord. Hell yes, thank you so much. Means a lot. Craig, hit the like button. Yeah, thank you guys. Hit the like button. Better late than never. This is very true. So everyone's thoughts on Tesla for this week? Pump or dump? We need to hold 1070. Lena, don't count China out. I'm buying the dip on Baba. So is Dalio and Munger. Yeah, Munger's been buying the shit out of Baba. Yeah, Lena, I mean, you have a point. I think if there's any company that's based in China that I would buy, it would be Baba. The fundamentals and the financials are freaking amazing. It's just the risk that you're investing in a Chinese company, unfortunately. But yes, Munger and Dalio are both buying a lot. Dalio. Thoughts on selling puts on Tesla? Are we going to see an upward movement? And watching your videos and greatly appreciate it. I like selling puts on Tesla for sure. I'd probably be looking to sell like a 1050 if you want to be really safe, or like an 1100. I honestly, if I'm actually, let me look at the actual options chain. I'd probably be looking to sell about a 1050 or a 1000. I think a 1000 put for Friday would be very good. Not going to give you insane returns, but not bad. Let me see. Let me go back up where we were. Jumia, Amazon of Africa. Yes, they are. Argudo, do you teach options, calls, puts, etc.? I've been investing for about a year and only know about stocks. I have a $3,000 portfolio. Hell yeah, congrats. And yeah, we teach. So I don't do much teaching on this channel, honestly, just because there is so much like daily technicals. But what I think I'm gonna do is take my other channel. There's a link to the main channel. It's called Main Channel, but it's just my name, Peter DeCarlo. It's actually the first channel that came out. But I think I'm going to start talking about how to actually trade over there. And what I think I might do as well is do some like public, we do have courses too. That's the other thing. We do have courses in the Discord. It's free. The Discord for the link to the free Discord's in the description, but we do have courses over there teaching you guys how I trade. And I will be making a free course on options as well. So the goal is to have all the courses to be free. So all you guys got to do is just go over there and take a look at it. When you are quoting the tools you like, RSI, MACD, what are these timeframes you're looking at? Lying Eyes, it's 1 day. You could look at any of them, but I like 1 day or 1 week. If I'm looking to trade something for the next couple of months, I'm looking at a 1 week chart. If I'm looking to trade something for the next couple of weeks, I look at a 1 day. Michael, by the way, greatly appreciate all of your options videos. Gold, greatly appreciate your proper and reasonable risk versus reward approach. I wonder why you've positioned sub Discord and paying mentor growth. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, that's the goal. The goal is to teach in a true manner, because there are so many people who, I mean, I don't want to crap talk like other YouTubers and stuff, but like there are so many people who really don't know what they're doing, who have not been in the market as long as, a lot of other people have. And to be quite honest, like many of the greatest traders that I know personally, I begged them to get into YouTube. I begged them. Like Ty Cody is a friend of mine. You guys probably haven't even heard of him. He's one of the best traders I know. These guys don't want to get into the YouTube space, because the people who really know what they're doing don't want to get into YouTube, because most of it's a joke. So many people are just out there to push crap, and they don't really want to actually learn the right way. You know what I mean? And I try to help by teaching the correct way, but also try to give you guys realistic viewpoints, right? That's the most important thing. I bought in all the pain. Baba, Palantir, PayPal, waiting to sell Neo, Xpeng, sold on my Apple and Lucid. Not bad though, Craig. I like Baba. It is risky as hell, but like I said, if I'm going to buy a Chinese company, it's going to be Baba. It's very, very risky though. Palantir, PayPal, I do like PayPal. Could see it fall to 175, but I do like it. Neo, I like Neo as well, and Pang. Would you be buying Snap? Michelle, yes, I would. If you have the next couple of months to be holding something, Snap is freaking looking amazing. Looking very good. What's your oldest stock? Only a couple of months. Honestly, I'm not holding a lot of my originals. I sold a lot of stuff. So I originally owned Tesla at $190, $198 pre-split, so I'd be worth $40 now. I sold that for about a $30,000 profit, which I would have, if I would have held, I would have like $4 million right now, but who cares? Neo, I was buying Neo at $1.99. I sold that when it hit. I had $20,000 worth of that. I sold that when it hit like $8, which I should have fucking held. My God. AMD, I was buying AMD in the $4. I was buying Moderna at $11.50. I made a lot of money on Moderna though. I made a lot of money on that. That was great. But I don't have a lot of long terms right now because I'd rather just put the money in real estate. But I'm really just harboring onto cash right now in hopes that whenever we see a fade, I can get in. Russ, UAA, Russ the bus. Russ bus. Okay. UAA analysis. Let's take a look. Under Armour, good bull flag, setting up for a breakout. I really like this a lot. Big resistance here. Major resistance, $26. Big gap to fill up to 37. If you have some time on your hands, I really, really like this. Craig, do you know anything about High-Tie? I do not know anything about that. HITI. I don't know anything about what this company does, but let's take a look at the weekly. Nice little bull flag. I mean, it's looking like we could get a breakout here. Not a bad entry. Probably enter around here, set a stop loss at 5, take profit at 8 and 10. Let me see. Thoughts on LGVN? Let's take a look. Not something I would touch. Doesn't mean it can't continue to go up, but not something I would touch. Probably gonna see this back at 16 in the next couple of weeks, unfortunately. What are your thoughts on CHPT? We already went over it, but I forget. Probably gonna bounce here. If not, see a drop to 20. Not a bad entry here. Set a stop loss at 23. Will Neo get delisted? No, I don't think so. Anthony, thank you so much. See you in the Discord. See you in the Discord, guys. Or Anthony, thank you so much, man. If you guys haven't already, go check out the Discord. You mentioned Cardano in a video a couple of weeks ago. Any updates on that? Yeah, so I talked initially about Cardano, and I really don't like talking about crypto, but I ended up exiting my position. We broke the support here at $2. It could bounce here, but we broke this support very, very badly. So I have exited this position. I took like, it was like $100 loss. It was very small, but we did break that support. What about AVXL? AVXL. Not bad. At the support, good uptrend. I think it's a buy. Nvidia, I would not be buying Nvidia, Matt, but if you're already in it, I would definitely hold on to it. A Doria, what do you think about SQ? What's on your watch list for this week? SQ is probably going to drop to 190. My watch list for this week, because you guys have been watching for so long, I'll share it. So this is not for this week, but this is for the next couple of weeks and couple of months. Really probably the next 2 to 3 months. I don't trade on like a weekly basis. Like I'm not like, oh, what's going up in the next couple of days. American Airlines, Affirm, Boeing, Citigroup, Facebook, Hilton, Hyatt, IAA, Oatly, Snap, Twitter, Uber, Visa, FIVN, DT, TEAM, MAR, SE. So if you guys are part of the premium group or part of the mentorship, this is the high conviction list for the next couple of months. So I'll give you guys 2 more seconds to write them down or screenshot them, and they go bye-bye. But yeah, those are what I'm really looking at. Michelle, what is the other channel? It's just my name, Peter DeCarlo. I'll get it up, hang on. So just go to YouTube and you type Peter DeCarlo. The link should be in the description, but it's this one. I'm really torn on what I want to do here. Got about 8,000 subs. This is a little bit more fundamental investing, but to be quite honest, I would really like to turn this channel more so into like real estate investing, business building type of thing, because I really love talking about that stuff. Zoom, Guap, what's up, Guap? Zoom. I mean, pre-variant news, I personally think Zoom's gonna drop to 170. I want to try investing and I want to buy 100 euros worth of stocks. What should I buy? Honestly, my friend, I would buy some books. I would not, like, I hate saying that because it's not the answer you want to hear, but like $100 in a year or 100 euros in a year, you'll be lucky to turn that into like $140 worth of, or 140 euros. So if I only had $100 or $500 to start investing, I would literally just go buy books. Like, that's the best way. Go buy Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, Disciplined Trader by Mark Douglas, Trading for a Living by Alex Elder. I would just learn before anything. Do you think Wish has a chance? I do. I really do. It's a company I might actually start a long-term position in. I think they have a bad stigma about their name, but financially, even though the company is losing money, their balance sheet doesn't look bad. I do think Wish has a good chance. All right, guys, let me go through these a little quicker, so I gotta hop off. Going to a Christmas parade and then dinner. You say you're hesitant to invest in Chinese companies. How about NIO? So that's the thing. I definitely am. I like NIO though. Like, if I had to invest in 2 Chinese companies, it would be NIO and Alibaba. Alibaba is much safer, but I feel like NIO's future is insane. Xpev, it's another one. Like, Xpev, from a technical standpoint, I would not be buying it. I think best time to buy was down at 46. Does look like it'll run to 60. How do you feel about marijuana stocks? Freaking love them. I wanted to buy CGC not too long ago. And we took this big push up. I might buy CGC for a long-term investment pretty soon. NIO at $1.99. You're an animal. Props, dude. Honestly, I thought the company was going to go bankrupt, but I was like, screw it. Some others have been talking about real estate as well. Have you heard anything about that? About the market crashing? I can do a video on that, but I think it's always a good time to buy real estate, even if, well, it's mainly for me because every single time I buy real estate, I don't ever plan to sell it. If the numbers make sense with you never selling it and it cash flows, it's not bad. All right, let's get through these quickly, guys. Let me take a look because I got to hop off. SQ, I think SQ is going to continue to drop. Thank you for your take on HITI, HITI. That was very cool of you. Yeah, no problem, man. Can you look at Coin? I got you. Let's take a look at Coin. Can you talk about Tesla, Bart? Tesla needs to hold 1070. If we can't hold 1070 and we close below it multiple days, we're going to see a drop down to like 900. But I do think we'll probably hold 1070. Just need to watch for volume tomorrow. But if you guys are part of the free Discord, link is in the description. I usually keep them posted on Tesla every morning and the flows and whatnot. So go check it out. Can you look at Coin? Yeah, Coin broke out like heavy. You know, if you're already in it, I'd let it ride. If not, I would be looking to enter it at 280. Looks like it's going to pull to 280. Opinion on Citigroup. If it can hold above 64. Well, if it can't hold above 64, we're going to have a problem. I agree with you. Citigroup had a very bullish day on Friday, even though the market sold off. I'm holding it for now. Why are you not trading on a weekly basis? Thought swings are not longer than 1 to 2 weeks. I don't know. I mean, so there's a bad way for me to explain that. Not that I'm not trading on a weekly basis, but that like I'm not looking at what's going to perform well within the next day or so, or like next couple of days. Like, people are always like, what do you think Tesla's going to do tomorrow? I don't know. Like, like I'm not planning on what a stock is going to do within the next day or two. I'm looking at what the stock is going to do in the next couple of weeks and couple of months. You know what I mean? Facebook Meta, good time to buy. Yes. Hood, I would not touch. Lance. SoFi, I would touch. I do like SoFi. SoFi is holding in the middle of this. Not a bad entry. It could drop down to 1230, but I do like it. Disney, Hara, I like Disney. I just actually closed it though for a small loss because I need to focus on other positions, but Disney has to get above 150 again. Has to. All right, and then GOFF, and then we'll hop off. I would not touch this, personally. This is way too volatile, way too risky, not worth it in my opinion. All right, guys. Thanks for all the support. Truly means the world to me. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. We do this every single Sunday, usually at 3 p.m. Did it at 2 today. If you guys want to learn from me or hang out with us, go ahead and check out the Discord. Like I said, we have tons of courses, 3 of them. One is on learning how to trade with like all technicals, everything we talked about in this video today. The other one is on market psychology, which I think is the most important thing. That is free as well. And then the other one that we have is a complete introduction to the stock market. So for anybody who's a complete newbie, we do have a course over there that teaches you that. We have one of the best technical analysis bots in the game. So let me actually go to Discord and show you guys. It's a little overwhelming, but we do have videos teaching you how to use this. So you can see here that this is how it looks. You won't see the premium section unless you're a premium member, but this is one of the best technical analysis bots out there. So when you guys see me talking about big money or unusual options activities or flows or anything, this is how you can get all of that information. It's normally $200 to $400. We pay that, and it's for you guys for free because I don't want to charge you guys anything. Like I hate hiding things behind a paywall. I really do. So I don't want you guys to not get the best possible resources just because you don't want to pay for something. So I want you guys to have that for free. And then if you do want to upgrade, you can and get access to the premium bot as well as all of my trades and the premium chat room. So go check it out, guys. Thanks for all the support. Have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.